What's going on, guys? So what we're going to do is we're going to talk about some of the updates that we have here at our house, and we are going to talk about all the cars, all the stuff that's been going on in my life for a while. As you can tell right now, we are literally where the last video ended was where me and my wife got married. But since then, I have a child. His name is Maverick, and that's where I've been. I've been pretty much taking care of my child, my wife, and getting everything good to go. So we're going to talk about some of the updates, some of the future things that's going to be happening in this video, to include some of the cars that my wife has, some of my cars, and then some of the future projects that we have coming up throughout the whole entire series of events. So without further ado, we're going to go ahead and jump right into it. We're going to talk about the first vehicle. Alright, as we're filming right now, my wife is actually filming me right now. So what we're going to do is we're talking to my wife. We're going to talk about some of these vehicles. So the first one we got right now is our new 2007 Dodge 3500. The 3500 series, while I was in an apartment, my dog ended up getting me kicked out. Yay. So we're going to talk about some of the things later on in this video about one of the other vehicles that we have. So Dodge 3500, it came pretty much stock, 135,000 miles on it. We've done a few upgrades to it so far since we've had the vehicle. We've done headlights on the front. With the headlights, we've also come across, we put 5% tint on the side windows. We put 35% tint on the front window. This way, when we're actually cruising through the highway and actually being able to utilize the vehicle as it's necessary, I didn't want it to have any type of light coming through, and with my son, I would much rather it have some sort of dark tint on it so that he is actually cool inside. Going through, we also put a new tonneau cover on it. We're actually going to be painting this eventually the same color as the truck. The truck has a few defects, i.e. some of the paint issues. The person I bought it from, she decided that she wanted to put a spray can into it, so we're having to fix some of the issues on that. But nonetheless, good truck. 135,000 miles on the truck when I bought it. So for a 6.7 Cummins diesel, not too bad on the actual mileage on the vehicle. So going through, we put a new exhaust on it, straight piped it all the way back from the turbo, which we'll talk about some of the video on that. We also took and put a tune on it, H&S tune, came from Canada. We made sure that we tuned it right, and we did a few other modifications to it to include the interior, where I decided that I wanted to put in a 10-inch TV slash DVD player. So it's a Jensen DVD player, and then that's my H&S tune that I have on the vehicle. So just a few modifications on the vehicle in order for us to actually have a little bit more fun driving down the street. So this is our new truck that's called Bruno. And we don't talk about Bruno because Bruno is not the best when it comes to when we talk about him, because he will break down in a heartbeat. However, since we've gotten it fixed with the tune, he's not had any issues, but nonetheless, we don't talk about it. All right, so moving on. We are going to talk about my dad's 1995 Chevy Truck. This 1995 Chevy Truck, whenever my dad passed away last year in July, he gave me the truck in order for me to do things to it. I'm going to do a dedication to this truck to get it completely the way that my dad would want it. So first thing he wanted to do was put this hood on here. I actually got the hood finished up right before his celebration of life. So this is the one thing that he did want before he passed away. However, I wasn't able to complete it, but nonetheless, it is on the truck now. It has 2-inch drop spindles on it, and since it's been running great, my mom has used it religiously in order to get some things as far as like lumber or whatever else she needs inside the house. But we will be fixing this truck up and doing a dedication to it to my dad. So moving on. Michelle, good old faithful race car. Now, with this race car, we've had our ups and downs. However, since it's been back from Germany, I haven't done much to it. I have literally let it sit in my garage. As you can tell, she is dirty. So, we are doing a lot of things to it. We're trying to make it actually a very nice, dedicated race car. However, I want to keep it where it's nostalgia with the M3 E46. These are becoming very rare. With Michelle, I've put her race wheels back on. We have done a lot to the rear end, making sure that the rear end is straight, good to go. However, we've run into a few issues with the wrap. The wrap was done in Germany. The guy I bought it from, he was 100% honest with me when he told me, hey, when you take this wrap off, you're probably going to have to do a paint job on the car. I've had to take the wrap off or start to take the wrap off in order for the wrap not to mold. It's been sitting in the garage for a while and then it's all of a sudden started molding. So now we're taking off the wrap. As you can tell, we've taken it off on the carbon fiber. And if you move over here to this side right here, you will notice that I have started taking pieces by piece off. This is the original color of the car. It's the blue, that dark blue that M3 has. But these are the issues that we're running into, is where it's starting to take off the paint. It's not because it's cheap wrap, it's because the wrap's been on for almost 8 years now. So we've literally started taking off the wrap all the way around the car. So eventually we will take all the wrap off of it and we will actually try and go through and repaint the car the same color in the original factory color paint. So we're getting this taken care of, and then we're also going to be putting the roll cage on back in her. This way we can start getting it back to the racetrack and actually doing what she was doing in Germany and having fun with it. Now, what we're going to do is we're going to start moving on to the next car, which is my wife's car, 65 Mustang. This is the new unveiling of Daddy's Girl. This is my wife's car. This is the one that I was telling you about a few months ago, or actually almost a year ago. It was going to be coming to the channel. We are actually going to be starting to take care of this car. The problem with taking care of this car is my wife wouldn't let me touch this car. So since she wouldn't let me touch this car, she wanted me to wait until she got here. She's going to be getting her hands dirty just as much as I am on this car. So we are going to go through. We are going to get it started. We're going to do the fuel. We're going to make sure everything is good to go. This is a numbers matching car. It's white on white. So with a inline 6. If the inline 6 does not work, I've already talked to my wife about this. We may end up doing a little V8 swap in it. We don't know yet. Just a little bitty wee V8. But, you know, we'll find out and see what happens when we actually start getting the inline 6 in this car. Seeing if it runs, seeing if anything else is good to go on it. So, with that being said, this is Daddy's Girl. So anytime that you hear me refer to Daddy's Girl, this is the car, 65 Mustang. Very little rust on it. Now, moving on, Corona. Everybody's wanted the update with Corona. What has been going on with her? Where has she been? Well, I can tell you one thing. There is going to be a dedication video to this car because the person that actually started this project did not do it correctly. So, we've sat down and we actually pulled the car aside and said, you know what? We are going to do it correctly. So, we went through, we took out most of the rust on the car. Actually, we took out all the rust in the car. There is zero rust in this car from now on. With that being said, we have since got fiberglass fenders, 2 inches on either side. Front, rear, hood. The front valance has been replaced. Back deck lid has been replaced. And all the rust has been cut out. Re-welded new sheets of sheet metal in order for it to be smooth across the board. And I had my buddy paint the car, which we will talk about and we will do in a future video and show the dedication between this car and how it was completed from top to bottom. There's a lot of people that has been putting their hands on this car, and I'm going to shout out to the people that actually made this happen. So, that's your update for Corona. We're just going to leave it at that. So, we're going to jump over. This is the cars that I have here currently with me right now at my house. I have 3 more vehicles that I would like to show you and actually go through and talk about them. And then later on, we'll start talking about some of the future projects that we have going on for all of these in a future vlog. Now that you've got to see all the other vehicles that I have in Alabama, here in Georgia, since I am living in an RV park now, which is pretty massive, I'm going to show you my new RV, which is Enchanto, Olaf, and Veronica. So going through, this is Olaf. This is my wife's 2021 RAV4. We picked it up last year, and this is our daily driver that she has. So it is one of the best vehicles in the fleet as far as gas mileage and getting all sorts of huge improvements since this economy is going with the gas prices. So this is her new vehicle, and then obviously we have Veronica over here. Veronica is still doing amazing. She is currently sitting well. I am going to be doing an update video on this one due to the fact that there's a lot of upgrades that has been done to her, and I want to express my thanks to a lot of people that's actually helped me out with this one. Now, going through, we have obviously all of the stuff. I'm going to do an update video on all the different things that I have put on here, the pros, the cons, and everything else. And in the very back here, we have my brand new 2015 Hideout, which is my new house. Since I'm going to be retiring in 2 years, I am planning on staying in this RV until I retire, me and my wife and my child. So going through, it is a 3 slide out camper. We're probably going to be starting another YouTube channel with this, the life of how we're going to actually be living in an RV for the next 2 years, to show everybody that you can do it. Most people are afraid to do it, but that's what we're going to do. We're going to go through and actually show you. We are going to finish it off here on everything that's going on. So stay tuned. Continue to keep subscribe, everything else that we've done so far to help out with this video and content to help it keep going forward. I appreciate it. I'm out.